DMV Hoop Session, highlighting the best high school basketball in the DMV. Powered by the Scholar Athlete Sports Network, SASN.TV. DMV Hoop Session presents the 2024 Capital Classic USA Allstars versus the Capital Allstars game.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the broadcast of the Capital Classic Capital versus US All-Star team. David Korn here, joined by Isaac Harris, and boy, do we have a treat for you today, Isaac. This is going to be such a fun game.
I couldn't agree more, David. I did the color call for the last game.
Oh, a 2 OT thriller.
Oh, 2 OT thriller. So I'm expecting something similar with this game. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get the 51st Capital Classic going strong.
Yeah, and there's some really just great players all around the court on both sides. Isaac, who are some guys that you're locked in on right now?
I'm locked in on, first off, for the Capital Allstars, I'm locked in on Isaiah Abraham and Ty Bevins. I'm very curious to see how they're going to progress. Also, Kenai Roos, who's also undecided right now. All three of those guys I just mentioned, those guys are very versatile wings, great ball handlers, with even Kenai being a point guard, being point forward almost. So I'm very interested. And on the U.S. side, I'm very curious to see how Mr. Oliver Rhode is going to show out. Mr. 7'7", future Zach Edey Part 2. I'm excited to see how he's going to show out. And also Trey Thomas, head coach's son. We want to see how he performs being a third-generational Capital Classic participant.
Olivier Ryu, the 7'7" center, is definitely a man to watch. Tough to miss on the court. And a guy you mentioned there, Kenai Roos, yesterday during the media day open practice session, I was speaking to him and he told me that, again, he is decommitted from Michigan once former head coach Juwan Howard moved on, let's say. And he updated me on his recruitment, and right now he is focusing on coming back to Michigan with head coach Dusty May or Florida State. He's also in contact with some other schools, but from my understanding, those are the two schools he is locked in on right now, Michigan and Florida State, and he expects to make his decision soon. All right, guys, we are just about here ready to tip in the starting lineups for the Capital Allstars. Daquan Davis, Jaden Mustow, Isaiah Abraham, Kenai Roos, Caleb Williams. For the U.S. All-Stars, it's going to be Paul McNeil, Dennis Scott, Mikey Lewis, Thomas Sober, and Peyton Marshall. And the tip goes to out of bounds advantage U.S. All-Stars. Paul McNeil's now going to inbound to Mikey Lewis, and we are going to be underway now.
This game's going to be interesting, because we've had some injuries, some questionables on both rosters, so we're going to see what we have going on with both teams.
That's an early three from McNeil, feed by Lewis. Not a ton of offensive scheme right there. And Kenai Roos loses the ball going to the basket. That's a shot, air ball from Daquan Davis.
Not starting a little flat, almost like similar to the last game, but hopefully both teams will pick it up in just in a moment.
Yeah, sloppy start. We're going to see Mikey Lewis now take the ball up. Mustow from the point of attack defense. And that's going to be a tip ball, and the Capital's going to take it. They're in transition, and the first points of the game come from Sidwell Friends' Caleb Williams.
Big bucket. Caleb Williams is going to be the prize freshman recruit going to Georgetown, staying home in the city. I'm praying he has a good game today. I hope everything goes well tonight for him.
That's an odd shot from Marshall right there. I don't know if the step back mid-range is necessarily his game. Oh my goodness, we have the first highlight of the day, an Isaiah Abraham alley-oop slam.
And for me, Isaiah, he's going to set the tone too. He's one of those guys that's going to be very notable that we're going to love to see.
Isaiah Abraham, by way of Paul VI to UConn, obviously the reigning national champs, Connecticut Huskies. They have their parade today. I think Isaiah Abraham's going to fit in very, very well on that team. They're losing some guys. I think there's a path for him to get minutes right away for the defending champs.
Of course. I think there's a big path for him, especially the way he plays. Coming from Glenn Farello, he has a mentality where you already act like you're playing in college basketball. It's practices run like that, and I feel like that's why Dan Hurley took him.
And the Capital Allstars right now up 4-0. Shots from Thomas Sorber on the U.S. All-Stars. Another Georgetown commit. First foul shot goes in.
A lot of Georgetown commits.
Yeah, their whole recruiting class is here. I was talking to them yesterday. They got to spend some time together. They went to the museum, the notable fashion store here in D.C. to get some new digs. They had some fun together. Makes his second as well. Score 4-2. Speaking of Georgetown, Caleb Williams with his 5th points of the day nails the 3.
Caleb Williams might have a big game just to let everybody know Georgetown's back. I know that. Even with the new haircut, he's still playing like the same Caleb Williams.
And we have a response on the other end with Peyton Marshall at the slam. Caleb Williams again, he has the ball. And an air ball from him. We've seen a few air balls today.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are going out.
Oh my goodness, Kenai Roots, what a play.
Kenai is very interesting to see his defensive prowess. We know his reputation, but the play started out a little flat, probably because they didn't get the same warm-up routine that they were getting due to the double overtime. But I think both teams are going to find that energy, find that pickup after maybe the first time out or after the first quarter.
Another air ball, this time from the U.S. team, leading to a sort of transition opportunity for the Capital Allstars. They're going to be inbounding now. Daquan Davis will trigger that one. Caleb Williams, again, seems like he's found the ball in his hands a lot today. Nice little up and under to draw the foul.
It's good to see Caleb trying to figure out his rhythm, and he's going at his pace. And that's something that we've all seen here locally in the D.C. area. Caleb Williams had an outstanding senior season with Sidwell Friends, making those same moves and just being comfortable.
And Williams, obviously heading to Georgetown for next year, had a lot of offers though. FSU, Georgia Tech, Maryland, Miami, Michigan, Notre Dame, Penn State, Villanova, UVA, Virginia Tech. You know, those are the high majors that we're offering him. Really, really popular name this cycle.
Yeah, no, he was a popular name, and I think a lot of people thought he was going to go to Maryland with Willard, but him and his family, Jelani Williams, his older brother, his brother went to Penn, but ended up coming home to Howard and to try to resurge his career due to injuries. But the Williams family's always been for the city, and they're loyal to the city.
Jelani Williams, one of the best stories in college basketball. By the way, if you have a chance, you should look that up. Great article in The Athletic about him. And again, I've been impressed with the Capital Allstars today. They've been locked in on defense. They've been active trying to get in transition, creating turnovers. I've been really impressed with that. You don't always see that in this All-Star Showcase style game. It's a 3 from Paul McNeil. He's one of the guys who I had my eye on today. That dude can score.
Yes, high-flying scoring, especially with NC State, with the guards that they've had this year going on that Final Four run with DJ Horn and obviously, with Caden Horn and
DJ Burns.
DJ Burns.
Big man down low.
Yeah, big man down low. But that guard play that Kevin Keats has, he's got a great pickup. And we get to see firsthand before he goes down to Raleigh.
And Mustaf just called bank, and that's going to be 2 for him.
Jaden Mustaf, also a second-generation Capital Classic. Father played the game in the 90s. Very interesting.
Oh, and we have an alley-oop, another one. I believe that's the second alley-oop of the day. This is the first one for the U.S. All-Stars. Converting that is Thomas Sorber. What a high-flying game, or what a high-flying play. And you saw the U.S. gamble on the steal there. It leads to some open shot attempts. Ooh. They recovered. I thought that looked a little clean, but we're going to see the Capital head to the line. It's going to be Mustaf heading back to the line to try and bring his point total up to 4.
Yeah. I mean, Jaden Mustaf is such an interesting player from Overtime Elite. He's very electric. And Georgia State, although, first year under Coach Stalmeyer, he fits the system, almost like a glove.
Yeah.
That just dynamic guard that can kind of do it all, can play off ball, can distribute, and also can get going and score.
And he missed the first one. He's for Overtime Elite this year. He was a 72.6% free throw shooter. Let's see if he can make the second. And he does. Again, competing on the, Elite. That's why they call it Overtime Elite, but the very competitive circuit there down in Georgia. And that's a response there from Mikey Lewis, the St. Mary's commit.
St. Mary's. Oh, Mikey Lewis. I'm glad that he's going to St. Mary's. I got family ties there. My father played at St. Mary's, and my family played graduate, so we're excited for him to be the newest recruit to join the Gale family.
Yes, my favorite basketball player of all time, Matthew Dellavedova, another St. Mary's alum. And that's another 2 points from Isaiah Abraham, the UConn commit. He had such a great season at Paul VI.
Now we're starting to pick up. Guys
Paul
going back and
McNeil,
forth.
3 more points. Again, I've said it before, this dude can score. He actually this year set the all-time North Carolina single game record for points in a game with 71 on January 16th. They blew out Lee County 118-52 that day. Woo! With Paul McNeil having 71 of those.
I think it's interesting that we're talking about these guys and where they're going and how they're scoring. It's something that, at an All-Star game, these guys are used to having either the ball in their hands or they've already played on similar high school teams that look like All-Star caliber teams. So it's interesting to see how these dynamics kind of merge and kind of come together for this game today. So definitely excited to see how this game finishes out.
So what have been your what's caught your eye so far, Isaac?
What's caught my eye so far is that we're going a lot of back and forth, a lot of transition. And the transition defense is there, but it gets a little sloppy sometimes because I feel like guys are just kind of trying to get careless and trying to go run and gun a little, not too much, but like they're trying to set a good pace. The Capital Allstars, they're trying to set a good pace just going in transition, and they're all getting to where their spots. And I think that's what I noticed when I saw them at practice, is that they're working on that transition and getting to their spots.
And I know U.S. head coach Dennis Scott told me that he doesn't want his players to treat this as just another All-Star game. He wants some high-intensity effort, playing defense, and I'm honestly not sure I've seen that from either side so far. As we get another dunk from Peyton Marshall there. He just bullied his way inside to increase the U.S. lead to 17-14.
Peyton Marshall looks like a prototypical, and not in a bad way, prototypical SEC player, that big, athletic, farm, like I could play multiple sports athlete, which is great.
Yeah, and we saw Davis try and work his way into the mid-range. A great rebound from Abraham there as he gets the feedback, and whoa! McNeil, who's been getting it done on the offensive end, just met Abraham at the rim, called for the foul, but what an athletic defensive, attempt, because he wasn't able to convert the block, but he was flying high.
Yeah, no, he was. Isaiah Abraham is such a dynamic player.
Okay, guys, wait a minute, get ready. I know a lot of you may be watching this for obviously a lot of great players, but maybe the most exciting player today, Olivier Rioux, the 7'7" Florida commit out of IMG by way of born in Quebec, Canada. He is checking in right now. 7'7", the tallest teenager in the world, Guinness World Record for tallest teenager in the world. Guys, this is going to be something to watch. I've watched a lot of basketball, Isaac. I've called a lot of basketball. I feel like I know the sport pretty well. I've seen a lot. I've never seen someone that big play live, and I could not be more excited.
Neither have I, and I've never got to see like Yao Ming or the taller guy like George Marison and now Zach Edey. I've been around 7-footers, but not above 7'1". So
yes.
That's definitely walking past him over here. Walking past him was just
yeah. I
wow.
got the chance to speak to him yesterday. Lovely guy, super nice. Luckily, I had a lav mic that I could clip onto his jersey instead of having to get on the stepladder like Tracy Wolfson to talk to him. But again, super nice guy. And I want you guys to know he's not a sideshow. He's a real player. Moves well, can handle the ball, can get his points. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Oh, yeah, no, and he's going to be a great addition to Todd Golden's team at Florida. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes up against South Carolina, but I'm excited to see.
And Ty Bevins also checking in, the GW recruit, another guy I'm very excited to watch for the Capital team. Hammond gets that in, and that's a miss from Caden Diggs, the Old Dominion recruit.
Caden Diggs had an exceptional senior year this year representing Bullis, getting them as far as they could into the state championship game.
And that's a miss from another Georgetown commit, Kayvon Mulready. And wow, Ben Hammond, he just made a shot over the 7'7" Ryu. Again, you probably don't see a lot of defense like that in practice, so interesting to see them attack him right away. And that's a 3. And that one did not hit any iron. That misses from Baron Bellamy. He's a guy who impressed me during warm-ups with his athleticism.
Baron Bellamy, his last name kind of sounds familiar to the crowd and probably to everyone watching. Yes, his father is Bill Bellamy, famous actor, and he's also in relation to Shaquille O'Neal. They're cousins.
And that's a 3 from Ty Bevins. Early shots from him, and that stroke looked clean. Capitals were able to get another opportunity with some defense after the miss. And, yeah, Bevins made the U.S. team pay. And wow, they just got it to Ryu inside, and I don't think there's a way to defend that if you get him to his spot, is there?
No, there isn't. It's hard to defend that. You got to completely front and just see how it goes.
Hammond's now defended by Lewis there. And it's interesting, you know, that those are 2 points there from Malachi and Marable, and you can see them, they're still going at Ryu down low and having some success. Definitely think he's more of an offensive player.
Oh, definitely, but I think that defense would come in
and what an athletic play by Hammond to get in the passing lane, keep it in, and convert on the other end. Those are 2 points early from Brendan Johnson in transition.
This Capital team is playing their hearts out right now.
And another transition opportunity is not going to go, though. That ball's going to go out of bounds. Johnson just couldn't corral it. Johnson's another guy I'm excited to watch, the Merrimack commit. Dude's a volume scorer. This guy puts the ball in the basket, averaged 26.1 points in the Baltimore Catholic League. He was the Baltimore Catholic League Player of the Year. Again, dude can score.
Yeah, no, all these guys are. The Baltimore Catholic League is arguably one of the best leagues in the East Coast. A lot of great talent have come in out there. I mean, notably Rudy Gay.
Pick and roll from Ryu, couldn't get it to him. That's a 3 from Sorber. That one's no good. And Ryu, you're seeing him struggle to get back on defense in time. Gave the Capital Allstars a 4-on-5. They couldn't convert, though. And Bevins is going to foul Sorber there, or Hodge there, my mistake. Hodge is going to head to the free throw line to shoot 2. The foul's on Bevins from the Capital Allstars.
Yeah, no, this game is fascinating because it's very fast-paced, which I love to see, that these guys are just picking the pace and going through. And I think that's what Dennis Scott was even reiterating on his media press tour, trying to get that spirit of the game. He's a former member of this game as well, and then his 2 sons have played it. His current youngest son is playing it, and his oldest son, Ryan, played it in 2004. The spirit of the game, playing competitive, and so far that's what we're seeing. We got another tight, close game. It might be. I mean, we went to double overtime in the first game. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to an overtime in this game, and last year went down to the wire.
And Hodge makes both free throws to bring the score to 24-21. Capital Allstars up by 3. And yeah, you mentioned how this would be a good game. I agree. I think we have to mention that the Jaleel Bethea, who was supposed to headline this event, dropped out for undisclosed reasons and is not participating. He was going to be a big boost for the U.S. team.
Oh, of course. They needed that scoring for him. The guard from Philly, great guard. I wish they had him, but they still can figure it out.
And 3 more points for Brendan Johnson, the Merrimack kid. Again, I said this before. He can pour them in, and he just did that with a 3. Mulready tried to respond with 3 of his own. Didn't go. Hammond will have it. He'll try and push. Get it to Bevins, back to Johnson. Johnson again makes the 3. That's 8 points now for Johnson. And just continuing to impress the scoring. Dude is fearless with the ball.
And that's what you want at this level. And when you go play at the high level Division I, you got to be fearless.
And Paul McNeil answers right back with a bucket of his own on a turnaround jumper. That was mighty impressive.
Love to see it.
Mulready will grab it and try and push the pace. There's Hodge. Hodge hits the 3. Man, back and forth action.
We got this is good. Just everyone's just getting their spots, getting their shots in rhythm. That's what you want to ask for in a high school basketball game like this.
And McNeil grabbed the block, and that ball's going to be the U.S. team. So 51.4 seconds left in the first quarter. Scores 30-26. Capital Allstars up by 4. And this has just been a really fun back-and-forth show, showing so far. A lot of scoring, a lot of fun scoring. You know what I mean? Yeah. Acrobatic shots, deep 3s, alley-oops. This has been a blast.
Yeah, no, and there's not a lot of, like, crazy scoring in, not like no one's taking bad shots.
And McNeil just hits another 3. That one's a step back. McNeil is pouring him in from deep. 3 threes on the day for him.
North Carolina State.
That's another step back 3. That one's no good. Olivier Ryu on the defense had a hand right in Bevins' face. And Bevins, that's going to be a mismatch for him. The 7-7 Ryu on him. And Ryu was able to find an open Hodge in the corner, but that 3 hit nothing but net, but in the bad way.
Yeah. Oh.
And Ryu with the block. I think that's a block, right?
I think it's a block.
I'll count it. Diggs is
count
going for the shot, and Ryu just got a hand in his face. And that shot, Johnson didn't get it off in time. The score heading into the first, and with the end of the first quarter, the Capital Allstars are at 30, US Allstars are at 29. And again, we said this before, this is a lot of fun, Isaac.
Yeah, no, it is a lot of fun. And the first game obviously took us a little out of it because it went to double overtime. No one was expecting that for the preliminary game, but this game it's in that trend. No one's taking any bad shots, David, and everyone's taking shots in their lanes. They're doing good.
Well, the thing is, when you have guys as uber talented as this, there are not a lot of bad shots. And again, I kind of circled him going into this game, but Paul McNeil out of Richmond, North Carolina, the NC State commit, with 11 points. He's leading all scorers like that. Again, I know the US All-Stars are down, but McNeil has been so impressive to watch. I think that that NC State team's losing some talent. He'll have a chance to really contribute right away there. And boy, can that man shoot.
No, and I agree. Paul McNeil, watching him play reminds me of a player that was also a dynamic guard going into NC State. I don't know if you know the name. Cat Barber. Cat Barber's my comparison. I know probably everyone listening and watching probably think, oh, he's probably talking to Smith Jr. No, I'm talking about Cat Barber, and that's for the real NC State fans that can dig deep. A little 8 years ago, how dynamic that ball handler from Hampton, Virginia. He reminds me of that. Very suave. I mean, obviously taller, but very suave and very quick on his feet to get to the basket.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm seeing right now is a guy who can really just pull up from anywhere. And looking into this, I kind of thought of him more as a mid-range scorer. But today, the three ball has looked clean. We're starting off the second quarter. Braithwaite's getting the first shot. He gets the score and going for the Capital Allstars with a three of his own. Jordan Braithwaite.
Braithwaite's such a talent from Baltimore, from the other a little further north. He's going to Yale, who just went to the tournament. And to be honest, I asked him if he's going to try to pull off a Tyler Perkins performance. He said he would like to, but it's not guaranteed.
And Peyton Marshall for the U.S. team bullies his way inside for his 6th points of the day, 33-31. Capital Allstars up 2. Kenai Roots is back in, and he hits the turnaround. That one up and on the rim, no good though.
Kenai Roots, he's going to get into his rhythm a little more, but I'd love to see more of it. What's he going to do?
And Ruth is trying to force Marshall on the perimeter. And again, Marshall, he has the size advantage against pretty much anybody on this Capital team. And he just, that was a nice driver. I didn't know the big man had handles like that.
It doesn't surprise me. The revolution of the big man obviously playing out more, but also that old school is still getting some fandom, and we love to see it.
Davis drives in. He gets the basket to go, and he'll have a chance to convert the and one at the line. Score 35-33, 8:47 left in the second quarter. Davis will have the chance to convert at the line.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited for Daquan. He's been playing excellent. He's coming home. A lot of the guys that are playing today are coming from either IMG and Overtime Elite, so they haven't had this is their last home game coming in. So I know a lot of those guys are going to try to put on a show. And Daquan Davis is definitely one of those guys that's definitely going to try to put on a good show.
76.1% free throw shooter for Rod Wave Elite in the Overtime Elite League. Nails the free throw. And McNeil, I believe that's his first three-point miss of the day. Clatters out, 36-33 still the score. And Roots driving and feeding out, and that was off the U.S. defender. That'll stay Capital ball. Davis inside to Roots, back out to Davis. Bellamy, though, right on it. And Davis just loses the dribble. Bellamy with the pressure to force. I don't know if that's technically a steal, but I think he was in there. Definitely contributed to the turnover.
For official stat purposes, maybe not, but for our stat purposes and the morals of the spirit of the game, we count it.
There we go. Mulready defended by Davis. Mulready, a big point guard at 6'6". Always loves some size at the ball handling. And that's an all-star type of play. Davis to Roots. Roots not able to get the dunk. He gets it back to Williams, and Williams gets the 2 in.
And then just Trey Scott just had a big three. This game's going so fast. Love to see it.
Scott, son of Dennis Scott, of course. And we have another three from Jordan Braithwaite. Oh my goodness. These points are coming in faster than I can write them down.
Yeah, no, it is ridiculous in a great way. They're just going to just stroke it. Here we go again.
Scott, no hesitation on that three. Wow. Wow is right. 6 points in a row from Dennis Scott. Trey Scott, as he prefers to go by. And another three from Williams. That one's no good. We can finally take a breather. Mulready on the rebound. He's going to push it, though. And Hodge basket, no good. Rebound Williams. Williams over to Braithwaite. Before we can say anything, another shot. The three is good from Daquan Davis.
We got a high-scoring game with good defense.
I don't know about good defense.
I mean,
this is the Capital Classic high school all-star game, of course. 44-39. Capital Allstars up 5. Wow. Dennis Scott off the bench. Another three. He's up to 9 points already. 44-42.
Trey Scott is living up to the Scott family name. Third generation Capital Classic participant. Wow.
And you know the thing about the Scotts, they can shoot.
Yes.
A good offensive rebound from Roots. He's able to get it back in. Braithwaite's going to drive, take the off-balance floater. That one's no good. Roots not able to grab the rebound. Marshall has it. Mulready again. That's going to be a kicked ball from Davis.
Substitution from both teams.
So we can take a bit of a breather as we get some subs in. Isaac, Capital Allstars up 44-42. And Trey Scott, man, he was the highlight of that stretch right there with 9 points on 3 threes, taking them deep, taking them no hesitation. So impressive from the incoming Georgia State big man.
It was funny because I got to speak with Trey a little bit and talk to Dennis, his dad, and this game just means so much to the whole family. Dennis Scott's obviously one of the best players to ever come out of the D.C. area, and also one of the best players to ever play in the state of Virginia for high school. So the family's all still here watching Trey, the last born from the Dennis's tree, just get this done. And you know he's playing so well. He told me he was going to stroke it today like this, like just kind of shoot and just be on fire. So to see it live, I'm a fan of Georgia State already. Yeah, he's going to be a great piece for that.
And Davis on the other end for the Capital Allstars, able to draw the foul under the basket. He's going to be shooting 2. Davis again. He already has made 1 free throw today, converting the and one earlier. 76.1% free throw shooter at overtime elite for Rod Wave elite. Misses the first one.
Oh, yeah, no. This is – but it's interesting just to see the talent. And
second one goes in. Those are his 7th point of the day.
3-point game.
Already had some sort of a weak screen by Marshall. Oh, and that's a great feed from Thomas Sorber.
Thomas Sorber, he's going to be a great addition.
The Georgetown connection showing off already. Sorber to Mulready. Hoya fans are going to like to you got to like to seeing that.
Of course.
And oh man, that's a heat check if I've ever seen one. Dennis Scott with an NBA 3, not able to get it to him. Kenai Roots on the other end gets the slam. The uncommitted, deciding between, I believe, Michigan and Florida State with the authoritative slam.
Good pass.
That's a good entry pass to Mikey Lewis. He's able to rise up and get the turnaround sort of off-balance jumper to go. And up and under, you saw Sorber pretty aggressive there. Jaden Mustaf hit the deck hard. And again, I think we spoke about effort. Yes, we're seeing a lot of threes. Yes, we're seeing a lot of offense. But I do like the effort.
Right. And that's all you could ask for in this game. And Dennis Scott really just asked for that for both squads, that they show that effort. They show that they all want to be here, the passion. He said that was the issue with the NBA All-Star game. He's an NBA commentator, so for him to say that, saying that's the whole goal, is just trying to revive this game to get it to where it used to be, is the effort. And so far, we're seeing it. So, yes, a lot of threes, a lot of back and forth, but it's not that bad because I see the effort. I see both guys are trying. It's just, hey, when you guys are when the shooters are hot, what are you going to do?
No, exactly, and that's the thing from this U.S. All-Stars team. I'm actually surprised. I thought they were going to go more inside. Obviously, Ryu has a size advantage against anyone, but we're seeing Marshall, how dominant he's been against the Capital Allstars sort of lack of big man depth. And I thought they'd go inside more, but hey, when you have Paul McNeil and Dennis and Trey Scott shooting the way they are, it's tough to shy away from the three.
It's tough. It's tough because, like, you want them to, maybe go back to basket, but not if they can shoot like that. You might as well let them let it fly. Yep. That's a whole coaching coach saying, hey, if they got it like that, let it fly and see where it goes.
And Trey Scott, again, I think he's been the story of the second quarter. I asked him what it's like playing for his father, and he said he hasn't done that a ton. He did a bit in AAU, but just like any kid who plays for their dad, they're a little harder on you. So,
right.
But he loves it. I mean, his dad's a legend, played in this game. It means a lot. I think he's having fun, but it's always cool to talk about and you know, those sort of father-son coaching dynamics. It's one of my favorite things in sports.
Of course. I mean, Dennis Scott also mentioned to me when I talked to him about Trey, he's like, no, I might call a couple plays for him, so we're just going to have some fun with it tonight. I want him to play better than me in this game. Have a bigger
finds
game.
Johnson, and the tip ball that's off U.S. team that's going to stay Capital ball. What do we think of these jerseys, Isaac?
I like them. They're a little bright on the red, but I like it. I liked last year's a little more because it was more retro style in honor of the Bullets. But this year I like it, though.
They look very all-star-y, which I think is fun.
Yes.
You can tell this is an all-star game. Diggs with the three. And Diggs is following longtime Dematha head coach Mike Jones to Old Dominion this year. They didn't play with each other, but obviously very familiar. Diggs at Bullis, Jones at Dematha, going to follow him there to Old Dominion.
Old Dominion is coming back. I mean, Jeff Jones, great coach, retiring, got an awesome career leading American and also UVA to great success when he was coaching, and also ODU.
Sorber down low. That's a good feed from Peyton Marshall. You see him do the glasses celebration after that.
Of course. Great celebration there. But, you know, with Caden Diggs, he's going to a good spot, and I can't wait to see what ODU does. The Sun Belt's going to be interesting to watch next year.
Old Dominion with their best recruiting class in their history, the 29th in the country. Obviously, Diggs playing a big part of that. Diggs, the highest recruit in their history as well. That's a step back three, no good, rimmed out from Lewis. Oh, and that was a pretty play. Up and under was no good from Mustafa, and then Diggs was on cleanup duty, put the layup back in. Sorber spinning with the left hand. Again, another nice finish. A lot of finesse from Sorber. Sorber's been a guy who I've been really impressed with what he's done down low at the four today.
Oh, yeah, no. Sorber, I'm seeing a lot that he can play multiple, playing at the four, playing at the three. He's going to be a fun glue guy, kind of do everything guy for Georgetown for years to come.
And that's a miss from Hammond, the Rhode Island commit. Hammond was telling me that he was talking to Archie Miller, the Rhode Island head coach. Miller played in this game, actually. So they were sort of bonding over that, which I thought was very cool.
That is very interesting. That is a nice bond to share with your coach.
Mustafa is the last name.
A nice finish there from Mustafa. Mulready entry pass, gets it down low. Woo, and I think that's our first poster of the day. Peyton Marshall puts Caden Diggs on the poster with the slam.
Peyton Marshall, wow. We're looking, he's just bully ball, Boogie Cousins type player right now.
10 points on the day for Marshall. And wow, what a play. Isaiah Abraham skying in for the putback slam.
Isaiah is someone that I've known for a very long time. Abraham he's always been that dynamic and just plays hard. So we're going to see more of that later in this game.
Mulready driving in, gets the tough bucket to go. He's a do-it-all guy. And he can play on ball, off ball, really good height at point guard. He's a guy who I think is going to be a lot of fun. And Abraham, we saw him sky in for the slam. We see him nail the corner three. This guy can do it all.
Right. No, and I think that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And a lot of these guys are playing multiple positions, and they're doing it. Oh, here we go.
Marshall, step back three. Oh, my goodness. We were talking about him dominating down low. Again, I did not know he had that in his bag.
I see the Boogie. I see Boogie Cousins right now. Not like the same caliber, but a potential. Just a couple more years.
Abraham with the response. That three's no good. The U.S. Allstars have their first lead in a long time at 57-56. Dude, Peyton Marshall's hot. I feel like you got to feed him. Saw he wanted the heat check 3. Instead, he passes it off. Trey Scott doesn't get it to go. Rebound Lewis. Nice spin move from Lewis to reset. Marshall open from deep. He didn't even look at that going in. He turned around, pulled off the swaggy P, but this time got it to go.
Peyton Marshall, wow. Wow.
60 to 56. Dude's not even running up the court. He called for the sub. He's a little gassed. And Lewis gets it to go on the other end. The U.S. All-Stars are just showing off right now. The half is winding down.
It is winding down just to see how this goes. Wow, Peyton Marshall is just impressing me too.
Lewis looks like sort of an intentional foul on Hammond to give Marshall a bit of a breather. I mean, big man deserves it. He hit back-to-back threes. He was passing well. I mean, that's so impressive from him.
It is. Peyton Marshall, clap it up for big fella. He's doing it all.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally doing it all tonight.
He was one of the more charismatic. Had a lot of. He was a lot of fun to talk to during practice, during media day. Do you know what he told me? So he knows a few of the guys from competing in Overtime Elite, just through the AAU circuit, whatever it is. He knows a lot of these guys. One of the things he told me he was most looking forward to today, talking a little trash to his opponents, trying to get under their skin. He said that was something that he prides himself on. And, I mean, you can just see it with the way he's sort of celebrating. I mentioned this earlier, but you saw the goggle celebration, the turnaround before the ball went through the hoop. This guy is a ton of fun, plays with a lot of emotion. Doesn't take it too seriously, but has the game to back it up. You know what I mean? I've just been so impressed, especially with the way he stepped outside of the paint, because again, he was dominating down low, but also has that inside-outside game. That's the type of guy that can really, really do well. And I think we're seeing sort of a big man renaissance in the college game. I think we saw that in this March Madness, and Peyton Marshall is exactly the kind of guy who can succeed in sort of that role, playmake for him, score on all levels. I think he's the guy who I think I'm the most impressed with so far.
I'm impressed with him because he's looking like he's looking like Boogie Cousins. He's playing like a early college Boogie Cousins. I mean, obviously Boogie was his own right, one of the most fantastic bigs to see, but like I see it with him.
Yeah, and again, it's a ton of fun. And I wonder if they're gonna bring him back in to finish the half, or if we'll see maybe 30 seconds of Olivier Ryu. I want to see more Ryu. I know he got some run earlier, and I know Marshall's been playing so well. But man, it's not every day you get to see a 7'7" guy. These bigs on the U.S. team are a ton of fun.
No, and that's what even Dennis Scott was saying to me. He's like, the game has changed so much that bigs can do more than usual, do more than just the back down and everything. So he said all these guys are talented. So he's like, he might just run out at some point in the game, all big lineup, and maybe we may see Peyton run point.
Oh man,
or Trey. That'd be fun.
I think you'd be stretching it to have Ryu and Marshall on the court together. But
so where would you have? So if you had all the bigs, and who's playing point guard?
I mean, I'll put 6'6" Kayvon Mulready at the point. I think I'm going to do that. And then I think Scott can shoot the 3, Marshall can shoot the 3, Hodge can shoot the 3. I think you guys sort of just have that spaced around and then Ryu down low. I don't know how the defense would look, but offensively it'd be a lot of fun.
I don't know either. The offense would look fun, though. It'd be great.
Yeah, and again, it does look like Marshall is going to take a bit of a breather heading into half, give him that sort of extended rest. Hodge and Scott down low for the U.S. All-Stars, and Sorworth. So yeah, three forwards in with Lewis and Mulready there. Again, Mulready just gives them such a size advantage in the backcourt. Hammond gets the pass. Mustafa's going to work. And he was fouled hard. Sort of used that strength he had to get a rainbow shot up and nothing but net. That was pretty.
No, pretty shot, good shot too. And way to finish that, so I can definitely see.
And Mustafa, 72.6% free throw shooter at Overtime Elite. for the City Reapers. Shot clock is off with about 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. 59-62, Capital Allstars down 3 to the US Allstars. Lewis feeds it. Mulready's going to pump fake. That's a good look from Sorber. Again, the Georgetown connection. Wow! Sorber, like a volleyball swat right there, was able to get it to Scott. Scott converts the 2.
Oh, wow.
What an end to the half. What an athletic, fun play from Sorber there. I haven't seen something like that in a while, to give the US Allstars a 64-59 lead heading into the halftime break. Isaac, quick reactions from that half.
Wow. Very high scoring, high octane offense. Both teams are playing with effort. Defense is not all there, but both teams are playing with it. Both teams are playing with effort. But I can see Dennis Scott is, he's getting these guys doing. He's doing everything he can to get these guys, the U.S. team, like, hey, we're going to go over here and get this win. So they're playing hard.
Yeah, Dennis Scott's been a ton of fun. He's been lighting it up from 3. I think Paul McNeil's start is something we need to talk about as well. He had 11 points, 9 of those coming from deep. And again, Peyton Marshall, though, for the U.S. team, they were down. He just took over.
We got Coach T with Noah, our sideline reporter.
I think they heated up in the second half. They started making some threes, and we was trading 3s for 2s. I think we started settling, so we're going to continue to put pressure on the big guys and make them play.
Now, I think that the big discrepancy is down low. They have some bigs that are really doing some damage. What are they going to do to mitigate that here in the second half?
I mean, I think it's gift and the curse having those bigs, though. I don't think they can keep up with us, so we're going to try to keep running, getting good shots, and just try to tie those guys up.
And the guard play looking good. These guys seem really connected. What is this team looking to prove here in the second half for the Capital Allstars?
Just trying to represent for the DMV. I think we got the best basketball in the country, so we just want to put that on display here tonight.
Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Sideline reporting, talking to the Capital staff, trying to figure out what halftime adjustments they got to make. And David, what do you think the halftime adjustments should be?
And I think Coach Jackson said it exactly right. Their bigs are a blessing and a curse. I mean, we've seen this. It's a tale as old as time where, yes, you can get those buckets down low. But if the threes are falling, if you're running out in transition, can they keep up? The answer is usually no. So while it's working for them now, there's no guarantee that it's going to keep working. And so I think he was spot on. You just got to play your game, try and play fast, do a lot of passing, try and get the switches, attack the mismatches, and make the bigs work for you instead of against you.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it. I think you hit everything on the nose, and that's what I was thinking too. But my thing is you got to stop the hot shooters. But with Team USA, what their roster was supposed to look like and how they're playing with what they have, and Coach Scott's coaching, it's going to be interesting in the second half what we're going to get.
I think another thing we have to see is I think we need to see Kenai Ruths really, step up. He had a quiet half, not a ton of scoring there. He is a guy who I think, if we want to see the Capital All-Stars sort of get back in front, I think he needs the ball in his hands on the perimeter. I think he'll need to sort of drive and create shots on his own. And again, I know we talked about the passing, but again, I think with his size and speed, and as one of the taller guys, I think he might be. Yeah, he's one of the taller guys there.
Yeah.
I think he's going to need to sort of use that mismatch, get the big on him, and just blow by. And I think that's a way that the Capital All-Stars can sort of trim this lead.
That's what I kind of agree more. I agree with that. That's actually a great assessment, thinking that just from watching this game. Because, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. I think this game, the score does not represent on how this game's going to go. It looks like we got a little award ceremony.
Yes, Ricky Goings, we got the chance to speak to, is giving some great honors right here. Ricky puts on such a great event. Patrick Ewing, Ralph Sampson, Amari Stoudemire, Dwight Howard, just a lot of huge names. And on the U.S. All-Stars, that list is even bigger. Moses Malone, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Jason Kidd, Marcus Camby, Antoine Jameson, Elton Brand, Carmelo, Klay Thompson, just stars all around.
Oh, no. And speaking of history, we're going to learn it from Noah Schubert on sideline.
Noah Schubert for SASN TV here with DMV legend Kurt Smith, honored here at halftime of the Capital Classic. First off, what does this honor mean to you, being an alumni of this game and being a legend here in the DMV?
Man, well, to me, it's a pleasure, man, still be involved with Capital Classic. I love what Ricky Goins is doing. It's my city, you know, I represent my city all the time, man, and I just love it. I love everything going on, man. Like, you know, it's just an honor. It's just an honor, man.
And they call you Trouble, and there's a reason for that. The street ball is legendary here in D.C. What does this game mean for basketball in the DMV and for D.C. culture as a whole?
It means a lot. It means a lot to me because, you know, growing up as a kid, I always wanted to play in the Capital Classic. I done had a lot of people that I know growing up watching them play. I just couldn't wait to get my moment, you know, but right now it's a pleasure, man. I like to see the guys hooping, man, and having a good time, and like you guys coming here and covering everything, man. It means so much to me. It's crazy.
And in the 51st year of the Capital Classic, I mean, who would have ever thought that 50 years later we'd still be playing the same game that we've seen legends like yourself come through this building?
Well, it's basketball to me because D.C., I know they say New York is the Mecca, but to me, D.C. is. And I'm always stick to my city. I'm going to represent my city. I'm going to still do what I do and rep with my city. That's just me.
Kurt, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you, man.
Wow, Kurt Smith, DC legend, coming back with along the other alumni that are here in the building and people that have played in this game in the past. I mean, wow, that's an honor to see him come back and just fall in love with this game and see this game going further.
And we're going to be able to speak with Coach Dennis Scott, NBA legend, Capital Classic alum, National Player of the Year at Georgia Tech in 1990. We'll get him in just a minute from Noah Schubert.
Halftime with head coach Dennis 3D Scott of the United States Allstars team. And Coach Scott, we saw a lot going on there in the first half. The bigs are really dominating for y'all. Some high-flying dunks are happening. What were you seeing out there?
Well, I'm just happy these guys have been around each other 2 days, and they're buying into everything that I'm selling. And I'm hoping that they continue to do that because they're really good kids, and I want to put on a good show for the fans.
Now you have the lead at half. It was very back and forth there in the first half. The Capital Allstars putting off a good show, hitting a lot from three. Are you making any halftime adjustments to combat that?
Yes, we have to talk more on defense. They have three guys who are knocking down wide open threes. We all know a contested three, the percentages come down, so hope we can communicate more on defense.
And it has to be special. You're coaching blood in this game. What are we going to see in the second half? Maybe a few more reps for number 3?
Oh, no question. Number 4, Trey Scott, will definitely get a few more threes up.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thanks, Coach.
And joining us for the broadcast.
All right.
How's it going? Introduce yourself for our surprise guest coming up.
Oh, man, my name is Walt Williams, man. You know, played in this game back in the day. We used to play this game up in the Capitol Center where the Bullets play, you know, sell that thing out. You know, so, you know, my day is back in 88. I was in 88 Capital Classic.
Mark, who were some of the guys on that 88 team with you?
Oh, man. You caught me off guard with that one. Who was on those teams?
We can move on if you'd like.
Yeah, man.
What's it been like to sort of just see this event come back? I know there are a few years we didn't have it. What does it mean to see this back, see the city engaged, and see some of the best talent from around the country converge into Washington, D.C. to bring back this historic event?
Well, it's always great to see that because we have the best high school players in the country, so it's good to be able to test your skills against the rest of the country. You know, I remember, like I said, back in my day, we had we would play against the top 20 kids that was in the country would come here and play against us, and, you know, and go home with that L. You know, so we always had the best players. They always came from here, and so it's good to have this come back and so that the community can see that.
Yeah. And you mentioned some of the players. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead,
I was able to pull up the box score, and a name
Yes.
people might remember from the 1988 Capital Classic,
Yes.
Christian Leitner.
Yes, Christian Leitner. Yes, yes.
What would you remember? Anything, you know, going up against that?
Man, I don't remember Christian Leitner in high school, man, but in college, you know, I remember going against him every year, man. So, you know, it was great times to compete at that level and play against that level of player. It really prepared me to be able to play in the NBA. And so, you know, back in those days, ACC, it was the top conference in basketball. So there was a lot of NBA players there. So it was a great experience.
And I can only imagine just with the rosters that were on that 88, in that 88 game. And speaking of just rosters and players, do you see any of the players right now that kind of reminds you of a younger you on the Capital team or on the United States team that kind of saying like, man, I wish I was playing this game, but there's a reincarnate in me?
You know what? For me, I think like this kid right here, number 2. I don't know what his name is.
Paul McNeil.
Yeah, see, Paul McNeil, he reminds me of, I'm a taller version of him, I believe, but he's not a real quick guy. He's semi-athletic, nice hesitation, shoot that thing, you know, highly skilled, you know, and he played with a lot of poise. You know, that's the way I played the game as well.
So one of the things that I've been really impressed with today is Peyton Marshall. He's the big on the U.S. team when he was stepping out to shoot those threes. What do you think about the evolution of the big man today?
Well, yeah, man, he reminded me of Big Boy from NC State, man, you know. Hey, listen.
DJ Burns revolution.
Yeah, so it wasn't just spot-ups. I mean, off the dribble, step-back threes, really going to the basket strong. So that's the part that the guys don't get. You can't stand out, even though you can shoot threes, because I could shoot threes, but I was a kid in my senior year in college. I averaged 27 a game, and the reason why I was able to do that is because not only did I shoot threes, but I got those easy twos, and that's what I see. That's what I see in a big guy. He knows how to use his body. He gets those. He got that bully game, but he also can shoot that three. So he's a guy that can put up numbers for sure.
No, and I mean, you're absolutely right. I see DJ Burns. I see a little bit of Boogie Cousins just with his footwork and the movement. Peyton Marshall reminds me of a prototypical SEC player. Like, he's like just those big guys that are athletic that, hey, I could probably play 3 or more positions, but I'm going to play the center.
Yeah, you know, it's good for a guy like him because when you have big guys like that can play around the basket, you force teams to have to guard you with a traditional big or a guy that's physical. And then most times when you can take that same guy and make him defend you away from the basket, you tend to be able to take advantage of him. So it's good that he's a well-rounded player.
All right, so we have the second half coming up, the third quarter just about to start. Well, thank you so much for the time today.
Great
we really
to see you
appreciate
guys,
it.
so much.
Man.
Thank you so much.
Brother. All right, now.
Do you know who else played on that Capital team, Isaac? Jay Bullis, who you might see on your TV if you happen to tune into ESPN, one of the premier college basketball commentators, member of the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame.
No, it's awesome. I mean, the history of this game, so many famous people have played in this game. Walt Williams, I mean, he's a legend. You know, he's a legend in his own right, and an ACC legend at that. So to him to give the game so much love, and this is his way of giving back. And I'm glad that he actually said Paul McNeil reminds him of him. I thought that was an interesting comparison that
cool.
he said. That was awesome.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing the starting lineups come out. Actually, not the the starting lineups, we're seeing them come back. No, I'm wrong. We're not seeing the starting lineups. A new group, Ty Bevins, Jordan Braithwaite, Kenai Ruths, Caleb Williams, and Daquan Davis in for the Capital Allstars, and they get some early points there from Davis.
This is going to be a fast half, it looks like.
That's a 3. That one had McNeil again. He was trying to get the response, not able to get that to go. That's an air ball from McNeil, who our friend Walt was just comparing himself to.
Oh, yeah, no. That's very interesting. Very interesting. I still like the comparison, though. But he said himself, Paul can shoot better than him. And that's a big high praise.
And Ruth's down low, passed out. And Williams had a lot of space there, and that one's good. Caleb Williams for 3.
Now, I know for me, we didn't get a chance to tell everybody what we want to see different in the half, how this goes. I want to see the Capital team take advantage of their shooters and really try to make Peyton Marshall as uncomfortable as possible, and make all their high flyer, high volume guys comfortable as possible.
And we'll coming up soon, we'll have an interview with entertainment legend Bill Bellamy. Coming up soon, very, very exciting. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, yeah, no, that's going to be exciting, especially him watching his son, see how he plays. It'll be very interesting.
Davis from the mid-range, that one's good, 67-64.
You going to interview me, man?
And do we have him ready now? Looks like Noah Schubert. Let's throw to him courtside to speak with Bill Bellamy.
All right, go. Yeah. You got this. What's your name?
Noah.
Noah, you got this, dog.
Check,
One,
check.
2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Check, check.
All right.
Mid-game here at the Capital Classic with comedian Bill Bellamy.
Yes.
And we got a funny guy here, but the game on the court
It's serious.
Serious.
Yes.
Nothing but serious. What's this game looking like to you and for the DMV, for the community as a whole?
I love this whole situation where these young kids, they're competitive. They're bringing kids from all over the country. You got all the best of the DMV, so there's a lot of pride involved in the fans. So it's an experience I think everybody should come check out, especially if you got a kid playing like myself. My son's playing for the United States Allstars, and it's just so cool to have them come out here and meet kids from all over the place. And there's so many parents here that, it's almost like a fraternity about basketball. You know what I'm saying? So families are all saying, what's up? Who's your kid? Who's your kid? Everyone's here supportive, and it's a vibe too. And they got great snacks. No.
It's all about the snacks. And rousing
It's all about the snacks.
Rousing endorsement from Bill Bellamy. Thank you so much for joining us
man.
here.
Pleasure to meet you, Noah.
And Noah, for that interview, that was some great stuff there. Always appreciate a little courtside action with a comedy legend. Capital Allstars back up 70-66. Daquan Davis had some points there for the local boys.
Oh, yeah, no. It's always fun to see the people that aren't from here, and they
the
get to
McNeil
come
shot
here.
just rims out.
Ooh.
Williams, that was a good feed on the run to get Bevins in the corner. Over to Roots, and Kenai Roots again, not able to really get anything to go. Whew, that was a pretty runner, Isaac. What'd you see there?
I like that. It was a very pretty runner. They're taking good shots, and they're taking solid shots, and I like to see that. And hopefully, we can roll through that, and see how that goes.
Roots
like
again
that.
misses the three. Not a great shot there.
No, not a good shot.
And Scott, you see right there when he was able to fake the three, he was able to draw the defense in, get some space from Marshall. Marshall was able to draw the foul, and that's a good possession there.
It is a good possession. I feel like I feel like you have to foul like guys like.
If he has the open lane, yeah, you're not in the bonus. And Marshall just bulldozes through Kenai Roots. Roots draws the foul. Hey, if you can't get it done in the offensive end, there's nothing wrong with setting your feet, drawing a charge, and doing the dirty work on defense.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's a good idea as well. Smart strategy. Smart strategy.
Davis there over to Bevins, back to Davis. It's a deep three from Daquan. It's a tough rebound from McNeil. Corrals the ball.
A little late. I feel like that was a little late of a call, but could go either way.
I feel like the game sort of slowed down here as well. At times in the first two quarters, it seemed like a track meet scoring back and forth, but here it's sort of a slower pace.
I feel like they kind of ran out of gas a little bit.
And that's a nice turnaround from Sorber. That one's no good. Rebound Roots. McNeil not able to get the putback in. Davis, a little hezzy, draws the foul on Sorber. Sorber doesn't believe it, but Davis will be heading to the line to try and make it a two-possession game for the Capital Allstars. Still up 70-68 with about 6:02 left in the third quarter.
I know it's a tough foul, but I know he thinks it's not like it shouldn't have been called on him, but for that, yeah, you kind of gotta let that go at that point.
Davis gets that one to go. I really liked what I saw from Davis in practice on Friday. He was really getting into it in transition, active hands, making the extra pass. He was really impressing in the workouts.
Yeah, they've all impressed me. Like, they all know their role, and I love how they're all figuring out their role on what this team is. I know they got to spend 2 days with each other, so it kind of showed. Wow.
And Kenai Roost is able to draw another charge on Marshall. That's, again, really impressive. The shots aren't falling, but he's still making the right play on defense.
He's being an impact player. And I think that's, and the term I like to say is he's being a basketball player. He's not playing his position. He's playing basketball. He's just kind of doing everything you got to do to help your five, help the team, just get the win. And
there are going to be nights and days when your shot isn't falling. That happens to everyone. It happens to the best. But if you're still able to impact winning, that's what's impressive. That's what makes a great player. That's why he is one of the top players in this game, in the Capital Classic and in the country. And that's a deep three by way of Jordan Braithwaite.
Man, Jordan, he's getting a little physical down here with a mismatch with Trey, but I like it though. He's playing hard.
Trey Scott fade, and looks like that was poked away from Ty Bevins, the future Rev.
How do you? I mean, I'm a big fan of Ty Bevins, and I'm excited for what he's going to bring to GW.
Me too.
What do you think he's going to bring just based
Great
off?
shot by Lewis.
Oh, great shot, by the way.
I think Ty Bevins is going to be a guy who's going to bring a lot of positional versatility. Can play the 2, can play the 3, can defend up, can defend down. And I think he's going to be a guy who can really just play within the offense. You know, doesn't need a ton of shots to make an impact. He's going to keep the ball moving and is just sort of going to be a guy who makes his teammates better.
Daquan Davis just hit that great shot too.
And another shot. Man, we talk about how the pace is slowing down a little, speeding right back up.
Ooh, no, and the score is showing that it is 77-73. Wow, and yeah, it's getting close, and the offense is showing like, hey, they're getting their energy back, they're getting their second wind, and we got another. I feel like we're gonna have another tight basketball game coming in.
U.S. Allstars down 73-77 about midway through the third quarter. How do they come back? How do they? They were down at the second quarter. How do they come back and try and cut this deficit?
They came back by just being a little more aggressive. Like Dennis Scott wanted to make sure that the U.S. All-Stars, give a little shove to the Capital Allstars. We know they know the Capital All-Stars rosters this year is stacked. The class of 2024 is an interesting class, but with featuring like guys like Isaiah Abraham, which was dynamic, and then Kenai Roos. I mean, they kind of figured that out. Now the Capital Allstars like, okay, we're going to play your game. And we're going to dictate our speed and dictate our aggressiveness in this game as well.
Do you know what's been really impressive to me? The Capital Allstars have played this third quarter without a lot of Caleb Williams or Isaiah Abraham. And they've been able to keep this lead without who I think their 2 top performers of today have been. And, that's, again, just showing the depth that's on this team, the depth that's in this region. Really very, very impressive stuff.
Oh, of course. I mean, there's a lot. Like, the Capital Allstars roster could have been even deeper with some of the talent that has been coming out of here. We're talking Darren Harris, Patrick Nwamba, I mean, Malcolm Thomas, who we wish was here with us, but, he's injured. So,
and we're seeing some Mercy Miller. We haven't seen him today. He was sort of we were wondering if he was going to suit up. Was not at practice on Friday. He is getting in the game. And, of course, for the U.S. All-Stars. Oh, no, I was totally wrong there. No Mercy Miller. My mistake.
No, yeah.
Mercy Miller is not in. Mercy Miller is not in. I'm sorry for the misdirection, everybody.
We are seeing Mr. Bill Belenamy's son, though.
Yes, he is in. And that's a shot from Les Johnson, Johnson's first points. He is the academic selection for the Capital Allstars, and great to see him getting in the scoring. And Olivier Rioux going up against the 6'9" Malchiah Marable, and again, just laying it in. Those are his fourth points of the day, 80-75, Capital up by 5.
Oh, yeah, no.
We got a steal. That was from Lewis. Lewis got in the passing lane. And the 3 is no good, but skying in for the rebound, Thomas Sorber not able to get that to go. Able to bat it away, and that's going to stay U.S. ball. Bellamy gets it over to Lewis. Lewis drives behind the back to Sorber, and Sorber not able to get it to go but draw the foul. What a find by Lewis to go behind the back, right into the hands of Sorber to draw the foul and head to the line.
Yeah, no, that was a smart pass. Great court vision. Yeah. That was a heck of a court vision.
For a smaller guy like Lewis to be able to play make like that sort of out of the high block, really impressive.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people don't seem to make that play like that, but he saw it.
Oh, so that was not a foul. The ball was out of bounds. It's going to stay U.S. ball. No, I was right. They were wrong. It is a foul. They'll be shooting shots. There's a little miscommunication there between the refs.
It happens. It's part of the basketball.
So Sorber again, he's part of this Georgetown recruiting class who are all here today. Him, Caleb Williams, and then his teammate today, Kayvon Mulready. Sorber misses the first. Sorber played for Archbishop Ryan and was teammates with the ESPN number 6 player in the country, Jaleel Bethea, who was supposed to be here today, but again, not here for undisclosed reasons. Bethea, a Miami commit.
Yeah, I mean, that Archbishop Ryan team was stacked with him and Bethea. They did a lot of damage in the Northeast, in the Mid-Atlantic.
Hammond drive in, got the mismatch on Ryu. See him call for the ball there. Ryu gets a little aggressive there. Marable falls. U.S. basketball. And that's going to stay U.S. ball. Sort of hit off Ryu, corralled off Mustaf, and it's going to stay blue.
Ryu, I'm curious to see. I'm wondering if I'm really nervous he's just going to dunk on somebody, just standing straight almost.
And that looks like another kicked ball. Back-to-back kicked balls. And we're going to, again, the ball is going to stay U.S. Bellamy's going to inbound. Bellamy is someone who is really impressing me during warm-up today with his athleticism. And Ryu gets the ball poked away. He's hustling back in transition there. Johnson has it. Didn't take the three. He made one earlier. Passes off to Hammond. Hammond nails the shot. 83-76 Capital Allstars with a 7-point lead. Great shot from Ben Hammond, the future Rhode Island Ram.
Ben Hammond has always been a great facilitator, great scorer. He's going to have a fun time playing in the A-10.
Yeah, and I feel like Hammond, when you're playing on such a good Paul VI team, you need to be able to facilitate. And I think he was sort of the perfect point guard to run that engine.
Of course. DJ.
So again, like we said, a lot of the first 2 quarters felt like a track meet, and this quarter really slowing down. A lot of out of bounds, a lot of, just a lot of disruptions in play.
And it just seems like, I just feel like the energy's coming down for everybody.
Yes, I agree. I think we need a poster dunk. I think we need a crazy deep step back three. I think we need something to get the crowd and the players to a certain extent back into this game. It does feel like they've sort of gone a little bit on autopilot this past few minutes.
And it's not the players' fault. I think they just ran out of, I'm hoping it's not the case, but they're running out of gas a little early.
And this is fun. I haven't seen this before. The players are getting into the T-shirt toss. They are throwing T-shirts into the crowd. That's what's fun about these All-Star showcases. Again, it's just everyone having a good time. They're there to show off. They're there to have fun, meet people, network, make connections, grow the game. I love that stuff.
Oh, I mean, of course, like last year when we came to the game and just came to, do some reporting, I made a lot of new friends from the game. I got a lot of new friends from like Mike Nyolko was on the United States team. Jamie Kaiser, we came a little closer. Like I still talk to some of these participants and some of the people that work this game. So it was definitely fun to see how this game does that. So I'm glad everyone gets involved.
You mentioned Jamie Kaiser, who spent his freshman season at Maryland, entering the portal. He's going to be one of the biggest movers this offseason, especially in the DMV.
Yes, especially he was one of the part of the Herald class from Maryland, and he's like one of the most favorite alumni coming back. We'll curious to see where he finishes his career.
Hammond now with the ball, triggered by his high school teammate Isaiah Abraham. Mustaf dancing on the perimeter. He's going to go attack the 7-7 Ryu and get the basket to go. Ooh, he hit Ryu with the too small celebration. Man, that's a 7-7 Oliver. Yeah, I don't know if Ryu's ever been hit with that.
Well, he's been welcome to the DMV, Ryu.
And that was a good feed from Olivier to get the shot. And again, that was a good feed, but the shot was not able to go. And that's a shot for Abraham. 88-76. That's a 12-point lead for the Capital Allstars, and I believe their biggest lead of the game.
Ooh. And I think we're starting to see the depth of the United States All-Stars starting to get to them just a little bit.
Yeah, because again, this U.S. All-Stars team, they don't have a lot. They have 2 players who are out today with Mercy Miller and Jaleel Bethea, so they already had a smaller group than the Capital team. They don't have a ton of guys they can run. I think they're at 8 or 9.
Yeah, no, and it's unfortunate, but, I mean, they're putting up a good fight.
Abraham in transition with the two-handed slam. Isaiah Abraham with authority rocked the rim and brought the lead up to 14 for the Capital Allstars.
Boy from Northern Virginia, Prince William Fakir, Like, proud of him, doing what he can do.
Bellamy not able to get the 3 to go. Hodge with the cleanup duty gets the putback lay-in to go, 90-78. That just hit off the front iron from Johnson.
It's interesting. This U.S. roster is trying to find their way back, find back their rhythm. But I feel like they got to find a way to get that with using the best energy they can.
And another turnover. We saw Marshall actually. Marshall and Ryu are sharing the court right now, so we're seeing the double big lineup for the Capital All-Star, for the U.S. All-Stars as they try and get back in.
Substitutions in the game.
And soon we are going to be joined by a special guest, Jelani Williams, who played his college years at Penn and most recently at Howard. His brother, Caleb Williams, who's going to be at Georgetown and is obviously playing in this game, we've been seeing today. So very excited to get the chance to speak with Jelani.
Yeah, Jelani's an old friend of mine. We grew up with each other here in the DMV, played against each other throughout middle school and high school. His story's very incredible, and I know he's inspired to watch his little brother do his thing.
We have a corner 3. That one's no good. U.S. ball. Mustaf took a bit of a tumble there. You can see him come up a little, took a hit. And wow, skying in is Kayvon Mulready. What a play from the Georgetown commit. And Hammond goes coast to coast. That one's no good. Up and in on cleanup duty, Brendan Johnson. 2 more points for the future Merrimack guard. McNeil off, unlike that one's good. Easy 2 for the NC State commit. Again, I think if you're the Capital All-Stars, you can afford to slow this game down.
Of course, and go 5 in, 5 out, platoon it.
And the Paul VI connection, Hammond to Abraham. That's a 3 for Isaiah Abraham.
Of course, yeah, Isaiah Abraham. You might be right. He might just fit right in with Dan Hurley, just the way he plays.
I think it's going to be a really nice backup to Alex Caravan at that 4.
Oh, great.
And Marshall off one leg. Peyton Marshall, who is so dominant in that first half, really quiet. I don't think he scored 1 basket in the 3rd quarter. Not able to get it going. Heading into the 4th quarter, the score is 95-82. The Capital All-Stars are putting on a show here at the Entertainment Sports Arena, up by 13 over the U.S. All-Stars. Isaac, think we'll see another Capital victory?
I think so, and it's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen a Capital back-to-back victories in back-to-back years. It's been a while, so it's looking kind of almost confirmed. But I'm not ruling out Dennis Scott. And throughout his career, we never could rule him out. So he's someone that he's going to try to make these adjustments for these last 10 minutes, and he's going to give the people in the U.S. All-Stars, despite with a limited bench, he's going to give them the people what they want to see.
Hey, we've seen this. This U.S. team can shoot the lights out. McNeil, Williams. If these 2 guys or McNeil and Scott, if these 2 guys are able to get the 3 ball going, I mean, they have as good a shot as anyone to get back in this game.
No, that's so true. And I mean, with the 3, I mean, they're not living and die by the 3, but if they start playing a little more patient, the U.S. team, and start looking for those shots, don't rush these last 10 minutes, and take advantage of the fact that the Capital All-Stars is going to slow it down a little bit, we might have a different ending.
Yes, sir. So we're about to start the 4th quarter. And how do the U.S. All-Stars get back in this, Isaac?
Taking your time and being patient with these shots. You do not have to rush. So that's something that I'm going to be kind of interesting to see how they do that. Dennis Scott has always been a patient shooter, but also on the fly shooter. So maybe he's going to instill that with these guys today.
Davis, Johnson, Davis, a little 2-man game right there. Johnson with the 3. That one's good. Brendan Johnson nails the triple. 98-82. The lead is getting bigger and bigger, and Marshall gets it down low. He's going to go up with it and draw the foul.
Clearing out space.
Peyton Marshall, a 54.7% free throw shooter at Overtime Elite on Rod Wave Elite there.
Peyton Marshall at the line.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch.
So what's been fun to see is him and Daquan Davis both played for Rod Wave. So they were teammates. I bet they've been doing some trash talking. I bet they've been doing some texting. Always fun to see teammates go at each other in games like this.
Of course, because you don't get the. I mean, because when they go play in college, I mean, Daquan is heading to Florida State. I mean, they might not see each other for a while. I know. I mean, they might play each other for a little bit, but this is a great opportunity to still have some fun with your teammates.
Both free throws from Marshall are no good as he bullies his way in. And again, I think that's the third charge that he's been called on him, and the third charge that Kenai Roots has taken. So again, Roots has that size disadvantage, but he's been able to set his feet, draw these charges, and force turnovers.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah, no, I mean, that foul trouble, man. He's playing hard. He tried to pull a little Shaq disrespectful dunk and everything. So I thought that was interesting that he tried to pull that off. But hey, I mean, shout out to Kenai Roots taking the hit on the chin.
So again, the score is 98-82. About 30 seconds have gone in this fourth quarter. And it's looking, I hate to say it after so quick early on in the fourth quarter, but it's looking like a tough task for the U.S. All-Stars to come back.
Oh yeah, no, it's looking interesting. I mean,
and Roots with the turnaround, that one's no good. Roots just can't get the lid off the basket.
Lewis with the rebound. Underneath.
Lewis feeds down low to Sorber. That one's good. Sorber with 2. He was trying to call for the contact there. 98-84, 14 points, and that separates the 2 All-Star teams. Davis 3 is no good. Hits off the side iron, out of bounds, right into the hands of the referee. And the U.S. All-Stars, they're going quick. McNeil has it one-on-one with Davis. Screen from Sorber. Not really able to get him much space. Hodge now has it one-on-one with Williams. Double screen. Step back. That one was no good. And looks like that's going to be a foul on Brendan Johnson. Stay U.S. ball. U.S. they're going to inbound.
Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully they right. This is a good play. If they set it up right out of bounds, try to get a good shot right here.
Sorber finds Scott. Scott open in the corner. That one's no good. They want to come back. Trey Scott's going to need to make those threes. And Davis with the corner 3. That one's no good. Rebound U.S. Sorber corrals it. McNeil now. Look for McNeil to just try and shoot here as he rises up. And draws the foul on the shot. Paul McNeil will be shooting 2 at the free throw line.
Interesting enough. Let's see how maybe free throws might be a benefactor. Try to give them the rest and try to maybe they can get a good look further into this game.
And Paul McNeil, I mentioned his scoring, averaged 31.7 points during his high school campaign this year.
Wow.
Just this guy can put the ball in the basket. The first sophomore ever to win the Gatorade Player of the Year in North Carolina.
And North Carolina has a lot of historic basketball. Hoop State.
Yeah, is there anyone who comes to mind, North Carolina?
I mean,
there's
James Worthy.
James Worthy. Maybe another guy who maybe starred for North Carolina a little too. A lot of guys from North Carolina.
A lot of guys.
Anyway,
we all know who we're talking about.
Braithwaite has the ball, still step back. That one's no good. You can see the U.S. Stars sort of chipping away. They have a 2-on-2 here. Hodge takes the transition 3, and that one's good. That's exactly what the U.S. needs to cut this to a 3-possession game, 98-89. Hodge with the big 3, the Villanova commit.
No, that is just great. That's just great movement and great shot by Matthew Hodge. I respect that shot like crazy because it's in pace, it's in movement. He's not rushing, and he's just taking advantage of what he can do. So that's a great shot.
Yeah, and what have you seen from the U.S. All-Stars, Isaac, to allow them to sort of make this a closer game heading down the stretch? Because, again, I didn't think they had much of a shot with the way they were playing, but things are looking up now.
They're playing patient, and that's what I kind of mentioned, that, like, for them to get, like, a decent shot at this game is that they're playing patient. They're playing patient, and they're getting the shots that they need to take. Don't take don't play outside of what your game and outside your role is. And I think that's what Dennis Scott is going to try to tell him in this huddle. Say, hey, we got 7 minutes. We got 7 minutes left in this game. A little over 7 minutes. We can make a push, but you have to be patient and conserve your energy. We don't got a lot of bench. We don't got a lot of deep bench, but we got timeout. So if you guys look tired, we'll call it. So it's a lot of strategy right now, and it's a game. It's going to be a game of attrition for Team USA.
Yes, and I think you're exactly right there. And I've been impressed again. They have been forcing a ton of threes. They've been waiting for the right shots, and again, converting a transition three like that can be risky, but when it goes in, boy, does that feel good.
Oh no, it does.
Capital ball. You're going to see Roots take the ball up a little bit, try and play make. Caleb Williams' drive looked like the ball was poked out, but right into his teammates Davis' hands in the corner. Braithwaite for three. That one's slightly off. Rebound U.S. And Roots fouled, trying to get for the tie-up, but he's going to be called for the foul. Nowhere close to the bonus so far, or a little close to the bonus, I should say. Capital of 4, US have 3.
Oh yeah, no, this should be, you got to chip away a little more. Good
Lewis
pass.
down low to Sorber. Sorber going to work on Williams in the corner. That three no good. Big rebound from McNeil, finds the feed, and the baseline slam from Matthew Hodge. Great play by McNeil to sky in for the rebound and create the play.
No, and it's just definitely, that was a good play. That was a good play. That was a great play by Team USA. Plays like that, just take your time, chip away at it.
Davis at the top of the key, over to Roots. Roots on the right side. He's going to drive in on Scott, and met at the rim. Wow, what a block by Sorber.
Big block. Love to see it.
McNeil now defended by Braithwaite. Screen from Sorber, not able to get any space. Switches the field to Scott. Scott with the deep three. That one's no good. Rebound, Williams. Caleb Williams now pushing it with going up against Hodge. The two Big East, future Big East foes going at each other, Georgetown and Villanova.
Oh, wow.
Back out to Davis. A lot of action there with the ball, but it looks like we're going to reset. Shot clock at 20. Davis one-on-one. Hodge staying with the smaller Davis. Three from Williams. That one's no good. Rebound McNeil. McNeil taking it himself, going left. Sorber, nice little behind the back dribble. Lewis creating, finds Sorber. Sorber got the seal, but not able to get the sort of fight through the foul. Is going to draw the foul. And we're in the bonus now. He'll be shooting 2.
I mean, we are in the bonus. Now, I will say this. This is one observation I noticed from last year. It was like the Maryland's Herald recruits welcome party to the DMV. A lot of them were from here or home, or they, not from here and they're not familiar with it. So it was interesting. Now we have the same thing, but opposite with Georgetown. This is the dynamic of just a lot of these recruiting classes getting together and coming to play this game to give their fan bases just a taste on what they're going to look like. It's always been fascinating. I mean, just shout out to the Georgetown recruiting class right here. This class is just looking solid and very inspiring, at least for me. That there's hope in the future.
There is hope in the future, and Georgetown's been on a bit of a downward trajectory lately, but head coach Ed Cooley is looking to change things there. Yeah, things are interesting up on the hilltop there, to say the least. Not sure it's going to be this year where they turn it around, but I know they have some money coming in. I know that, again, this recruiting class is looking good. There's a path. There's a path out of despair for the Hoyas. 98-92 the score right now. Capital Allstars up by 6. Their lead of 14 has disappeared to just a 2-possession game. Make that a 4-point deficit now as they get the transition bucket to go. 4 points separate these two teams, 98-94. Yep. And now we are about to be joined by former Howard Bison and former Penn Quaker Jelani Williams. Isaac, I'll let you hit the first question here. I know you have a long relationship with Mr. Jelani Williams, and kick it off.
Good to see you, brother. Here at Jelani Williams, Howard Bison, and Penn Quaker. little bit of both, but I know he's gonna claim the real HU right now on this here. Joining us here today for just a little bit, watching his little brother.
Yes, sir.
Jelani, I know it was a big year, but we're gonna first talk about Caleb and how he's playing. Like, how are you? Is this like kind of emotional for you, kind of nostalgia seeing your baby brother just going at it against the rest of the country, and then showing off that, hey, Georgetown's coming back?
Yeah, no, I'm super proud of him. 20 to go. What we've been able to do in the city of Howard, and him, trying to turn that into something and do it at a pretty high level, and bring back some college basketball in the city is important. So, just really excited to be here and watch him play. He's grown so much even in the last year, so just looking forward to seeing his continued growth and hopefully putting Georgetown back on the map.
Jelani, if you could move your mic up a little bit to your mouth.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Give us a scouting report on your little brother. I want to hear it from you. You're probably the guy who knows him best. What's his game? Strengths, weaknesses, everything.
Yeah, I'll start strengths. I think, just size and skill at his position. He has a great feel. He's been around basketball forever, so he has a really high basketball IQ. He makes the right play. He doesn't force it, although he's super talented, which is rare at his age. So he's a really good basketball player, a really high IQ basketball player. You can tell he's been around the game for a long time. Needs to continue to get stronger, continue to work on his athleticism. I think he could become a really good two-way player in college and beyond that.
Who won the last time you guys played one-on-one?
We haven't played in a while. I got him a while ago, but we haven't played in maybe a couple years.
And it's funny that you guys bring up that sibling rivalry and that Georgetown class and staying in the city. It's been well documented. The Williams family has been loyal to the city, from attending Sidwell friends, from going to Howard, coming back, and your brother going to Georgetown. Georgetown has an intriguing class coming in. What's your thought, and how does your brother complement this class, or even potentially lead this class for the years to come?
Yeah, this is actually, today was my first time being able to see Kayvon and Thomas Schorber. So yeah, that's a really good class. Them three coming in. I know they had the kid McKenna, I think, who redshirted this year. They got a really good freshman class coming in, and that's what Coach Cooley is trying to do is build around a class like this that can have them compete nationally in a few years. So it's pretty exciting stuff in DC.
And Jelani, for those who aren't aware, I think you have one of the most remarkable college basketball paths we've seen. Could you just share a little bit about sort of your journey through college basketball?
Yeah. My journey has been crazy. I haven't met too many people that have been through what I've been through, but
I don't think there's anyone.
But obviously starting here in DC at Sidwell Friends, tear my ACL my senior year, redshirt my freshman year at Penn. From that point, tear it again twice more times, so 3 times in total. Torn ACLs, missed about 1,800 days before my first game at Penn in my fifth year. And then played a year there, transferred to Howard, and now I've gotten back-to-back championships at Howard now for the first time in school history. So it's been a lot of ups and downs, but we finished it strong. So I'm very proud of my college career.
Oh no, yeah, and for any of the young listeners and viewers, a story of resilience, someone that I've seen firsthand and growing up and playing against, and give me trouble. So the Williams family's always been representing the city and just showing that toughness and gritness and what the DMV means. But it's an honor to hear your story, and definitely we get to see more than the next generation of Williams families representing the city. Jelani Williams, thank you so much for joining with us. I know we got to get you back with your family to enjoy the rest of this game, but thank you for sitting with us for the rest of for the game.
Yeah, thank you, Jelani.
For sure, thanks for having me.
We have about 3:54 left in the fourth quarter. The Capital Allstars are up 102-96. 2-possession game here as we are heading down to the wire at Entertainment Sports Arena. Daquan Davis with the mid-range. That one just rims out. Hodge now he's going to find McNeil in the corner. Back out to McNeil. McNeil took a little time to shoot that three. Nails it, but looks like that's not going to go.
Media timeout. Basket no good.
There's a timeout called right before that. That's tough. McNeil had the three, but the timeout is going to negate it. And that was so great to catch up with Jelani. Again, he's a guy who I think the real college basketball fans were just so in awe of his story of resilience, the way he was able to sort of come back after those injuries at Penn, play for Howard, make the NCAA tournament. Just such a fascinating, inspiring story.
No, it is, and like I said, he's a testament of what the players in this area are. Just the mental toughness. to play. I know a lot of people complain about the COVID years and the extra years on who's eligible and stuff, but he's someone that deserved every bit of those extra years back. That if you can wind back the clock, you got to let him. And I remember when he was going to Penn, it was a big get. He was on top like 350 when he was a senior in the class of 2016. He was top 350 going in. So Penn was looking like, oh, we're going to be the next Ivy League school, like the Cornell and Yales, to go to the tournament. And it just never happened the way it should have. But going to Howard, he got those years back, and we got a glimpse to see, especially last year when they won their first title in 25 years in the MEAC. You know, Jelani's inspiring, and his little brother is going to carry that torch of what that Williams family means to DC.
Yeah, and going back to the game here, Caleb Williams has not featured in a few minutes. But again, the US Allstars have made this a game, folks. 3:33 left in the fourth quarter, 96-102, two-possession game. And we've seen the way these teams can shoot. Anything can happen. So make sure to stick with us here. This is going to be a fun finish here in Washington, D.C. at the Capital Classic. Roots is going to inbound. Hammond is going to take it deep in the backcourt. The U.S. Allstars, you don't see a full court press too often in these showcases, Isaac.
No, you do not. I mean, I know in the preliminary game they had to because it was getting tight.
Oh, when you have these 2-minute overtimes, you got to do whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But with this game, still tight scored, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Caleb Williams back in. He had that feed to Roots. Roots, again, not able to get it to go. Roots really struggling on the offensive end today.
Yeah, he's struggling, but I mean, it comes like you got to find where you can, if you're not helping offensively, are you helping defensively?
And Williams, he went for the steal there, called for the foul. Sorber drew it. Sorber will be shooting 2 free throws now.
Fifth foul.
It's going to be interesting to see how this game unfolds because, I mean, the lineup they have right now, I mean, you got Sauber, who's a great rebounder. Hodge is a solid shooter, and if you get him the right role, he knows how to move and play within himself. You got you got a good roster right now to try to get you over the hump and maybe push an overtime or even push the Capital Allstars a little to a brink.
So what's interesting here, we talked about at halftime, T. Jackson was saying how T. Johnson was saying how he wanted to, play the bigs off the court, and he has done that. You're seeing the U.S. team look a lot smaller. Peyton Marshall and Olivier Ryu both sitting on the bench right now. Sorber playing a smaller 5 role for the U.S. Allstars is their big right now. The rest of the lineup out on the court right now in this stretch run, Mulready, Sorber, McNeil, Lewis, these are all shooters.
That's true. And
misses the second one, 102-97, 5 points.
The small ball action. I mean, let's see what happens. I want to see some more small ball, good plays just off the screen and maybe get a good shot in the mix of it.
Hammond, and he just gets it right into the hands of Hodge. And Mulready is not able to get that to go. Rebound, Abraham. Ruth is going to take the ball up. He's going to be defended by Hodge. Davis to Hammond to Davis. Davis with the drive. He lost the dribble, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. Again, still 5 points separating these two teams. 102-97 Capital Allstars up, and we're looking for a great finish here with the U.S. Allstars trying to complete the 14-point comeback, which they were down 14 deep into the third quarter, and they have been at a furious comeback to try and get back into this game.
I think the way they're going to try to come back into this game is going to be, wow. There's a lot of things you can do. You can still press up, but you don't have enough energy right now to really do a full court press. Mm-hmm. I would say fall back, but the Capital Allstars aren't shooting at a high percentage as you guys. So maybe I'd fall back in maybe like a good trap zone or something just to set them up, just to slow them down, because they might try to speed it up in this last 2 minutes, just to try to break them down, because they know, hey, look, the U.S. team, the depth is starting to hit them right now in these last 2 minutes.
I think you got to defend the 3 if you're the Capital Allstars. Defend the 3. Make it so that they have to keep chipping away instead of they get those sort of more bulk points with the 3s. Force them to chip away, foul, force them to make their free throws, and I think that's how you keep your lead.
No, and you're exactly right. You got to defend that 3. If you do not want to be the Capital Allstars in a situation to where they give you 6 unanswered points and you're just like, wait a second, what happened?
McNeil on the trigger, he's able to get it into Hodge.
Matthew Hodge with the ball.
Hodge now sort of trapped. He's able to get it out. Lewis is able to get into an ISO situation defended by Hammond. Lewis and Hammond one-on-one. He has space to work, gets it down low to Sorber. Sorber's doubled, and that's a turnover. Hammond has it in transition. 3-on-2 right here, slows it down though, loses the transition. He's not looking to shoot. He's trying to dry out this shot clock. 20 seconds left. I would not expect a shot within the next 15 seconds. Hodge is giving Mustaf some space. Finds Abraham, and Abraham is fouled. Dunk is no fouls on the floor. Not in the bonus yet. The U.S. is not in the bonus, so this is just going to be an inbound.
Capital Allstars retain possession.
Inbound to Davis. Davis over to Mustaf. Mustaf again taking his time. Foul resets the shot clock.
Interesting strategy, Coach Jackson. Love that you're just going to try to slow out that clock. No need to do it, and just look for the most patient shot you can get.
Mustaf is going to drive in. Mulready gets the steal, finds Lewis. Lewis one-on-one with Davis. Euro step, and gets the lay-in to go with the right hand. 102-99. One possession game, 1:15 left in the Capital Classic. Capital Allstars 102, US Allstars 99. One possession separates these two squads.
One possession. I mean,
a minute and some change.
Like I said, we were going to get close games. We were going to get close games today.
Davis screen, Roots and Hodge getting into it. Davis gets some space from Mulready. Hop step, lay-in, met by 3 U.S. defenders. McNeil has it. Under a minute left, about 45 seconds, and the full court pass from McNeil finds the open spot.
Oh, wow.
Mikey Lewis nails the three.
Unconscious.
And here we go.
Deadlock.
Big three. I told you, they got to just be patient.
That's a great shot. 102-102. Tie game. 28 seconds. 10 seconds separate the shot and game clock. Hammond switched on by Mulready. Hammond working in the mid-range. Finds Abraham. Abraham, the 2 is no good. 15 seconds left. Tie game. Hodge has the ball. He's going to find McNeil. McNeil now has it.
10 seconds left in the game.
10 seconds. McNeil with the ball defended by
Scott says no timeout.
Davis. 2, 1. McNeil
Oh!
off balance. That one's good. Paul McNeil nails the shot to give the U.S. Allstars the 105-102 victory in the 51st edition of the Capital Classic. Paul McNeil, the future NC State man, nails the tough shot. What an ending. The comeback is complete. The U.S. Allstars win.
That is, wow, NC State is in for a treat.
NC State is in for a treat. They just had the run of their lives, and they are getting a special scorer here by the name of Paul McNeil Jr. He's had lit it up in the first half, a bit of a quiet second half, but obviously ended the game with an exclamation mark with that buzzer-beating 3.
Definitely going to be the U.S. All-Stars MVP, 100%. That was incredible. 2 buzzer beaters. 2 games back-to-back. Tay Barber. And now Paul McNeil Jr.
What a day of hoops we've had here at Entertainment Sports Arena. The Capital Classic did not disappoint today.
So that's interesting about the MVPs went.
Thomas Sorber and Daquan Davis. I was sure they'd give it to the hero, Paul McNeil, but again, Sorber especially in the second half, did a great job manning the paint when they went a little smaller. He's going to be a big piece at Georgetown, very deserving, and was a huge part in their comeback.
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, both was deserving. And Daquan Davis, his final stat line was just incredible what they announced. And it looks like we're going to get ready to do potentially our sideline reporter is going to get either Daquan first or Thomas. So we're going to hear more about their MVPs. But both games, both players were deserving of their MVPs. And Team USA gutted it out. They gutted it out and got the job done.
Post game with the Capital Team MVP, Daquan Davis had an overtime elite, 18 points in the win. Team didn't come out on top. That was a crazy last second shot, but still playing in the Capital Classic and winning MVP. It's got to be a great feeling regardless.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's a great game. Came down to the last shot, like you said. I'm just grateful to be in the game.
Yeah, and it's a game that has so much history and means so much to this local community. I mean, what is it like being in such a storied game, the 51st game, and coming out with Capital Team MVP?
It feels great, for me to get picked. I work hard my whole life, so for me to get picked to showcase my talent in the game, it feels good.
And now you get a combination of guys, overtime elite, and then you got guys coming out of the top high schools in the country in the DMV. What was it like out there playing with the top talent of the country and the area has to offer?
It was a good bump. It was getting me ready for college, playing against top talent, people that deserve to be here, so I appreciate it.
It definitely helps with the prep, right?
For sure.
Daquan Davis, Capital Team MVP, joining us post-game. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Post-game with United States All-Stars MVP Thomas Sorber, 20 points in the win. That was a fantastic finish by teammate Paul McNeil Jr. I mean, what was it like when you saw him hit that winning three?
It was crazy. When he said he didn't want the screen or nothing, I had some type of feeling in my gut that he was going to hit this shot. So I just trusted him and he hit the shot.
Now, very meticulous, 20 points to the win, always just dominating on the glass down low. How were you able to come out and get that crystal ball at the end of the game?
I just come out and play my usual game, rebound, play defense, do everything a player needs to do, like on the basketball court. So that's what I do.
And now we're in the Capital Classic. You're headed to Georgetown after this, staying in the DMV. What is it like to come out with an award like that, knowing that you're going to stay home and still have 4 more years here in D.C.?
Just to show that I'm going to bring one home back to Georgetown, where it belongs at. So, yeah.
Looking for bigger rings at Georgetown, maybe another trophy to add to the cabinet?
Maybe. Probably. That's what we'll have to see.
Well, this one we'll have to do for now. Thomas Sorber, the United States All-Stars MVP, joining SASN TV. Congratulations. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you. Congratulations.
And, wow, he has bigger aspirations because now this is his home. So what a great taste to give to the Georgetown fans, the whole Georgetown class. I mean, Thomas Sorber getting the MVP. And then, it was great just to see him do he played outstanding.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the big stories that Georgetown recruited us and how well they play. Caleb Williams is showing off inside and out. Thomas Sorber and Kevin Mulready looking really solid. Again, Georgetown fans in attendance today really got a taste of the future, and things are looking up for the Hoyas. Again, may not be next year, but with these guys leading the way, I would not be surprised if Georgetown makes a comeback and is at the top of the Big East sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. It's a slow grind for the Hoya faithful, and we'll see. And it looks like we're gonna get into Dennis Scott, winning coach for the United States team with Noah here in a little bit after, just to get a little more press in.
Post game with United States All-Stars head coach Dennis Scott. Came out with the win. You got to talk about the buzzer beater, Paul McNeil, ice in his veins. Were you just telling him to ISO, or is that all him?
No, what happens is in basketball, coaches sometimes overreact when you get a steal. It's a tied game. Why call timeout? When you call timeout, you give the other team a chance to set up their defense. I had the right lineup in the game, small lineups, no bigs. We were switching everything, and those guys just showed us why they're here. They're the best talent in the world.
Now the Capital team, they scored 95 points through 3 quarters, held them to 7 in the 4th. What was the defensive change where the guys just held down the fort and were able to meticulously work their way back and end up winning this ball game?
Their competitive spirit really kicked in. And that's why I'm so proud about them, because now in this nature of young guys, they take All-Stars games for granted. This is the first All-Star game for high school kids where I see they really competed, they had fun, and they gave the fans a show.
Now, you already have a pretty nice trophy case on you, and now you get to add Capital Classic champion coach. How's that feel?
It's emotional because my son was on the team. I played in this game in '87. He showed the whole world he can shoot the basketball from the parking lot. Yeah. What else can a dad ask for?
Major proud dad moment.
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck to the whole Scott family and the next generation coming through.
Thank you.
Drew's good?
All right, and again, thank you to our wonderful crew here, Daniel, Chris, everyone behind the scenes.
I think we're good.
From SASN TV, I'm David Korn, Isaac Harris.
Else?
What a great time here on 2 incredible buzzer-beating games of basketball here at the Capital Classic.
Good.
Signing off.
Signing off.
Okay.
DMV Hoop Session, highlighting the best high school basketball in the DMV. Powered by the Scholar Athlete Sports Network, SASN.TV.